Hey guys, what's up? Daniel here. Today we're actually going to do a quick comparison of the iPhone 8 and the Galaxy S8. Now here I have the Galaxy S8 and you can see the color there right off the bat. This is the silver S8. This is the silver white iPhone 8. And as far as colors go, the iPhone 8 is definitely something that I like way more than the Galaxy S8. I just find this to be too reflective and it looks almost like a toy of some sort. I did used to have a matte film protector on the back here, which made it look much better. But as far as design goes, or the color goes, I definitely prefer the back of the iPhone 8. But of course, we do have a camera bump on the iPhone 8 and none on the Galaxy S8, which is nice that they got rid of on the S8. And we also have a headphone jack. So those are kind of the main things outside of the phone, but I just want to go over the other things and the other experiences that would make you choose either the Galaxy S8 or the iPhone 8. So yeah, mainly going to go over the things that I personally decide on when choosing a phone. And if you want a quick recap, I would definitely choose the Galaxy S8 over the iPhone 8 unless you are really into the Apple ecosystem. So if you have an iMac, an iPad, family members with iPhones and all that, then definitely go with the iPhone. If you have none of that, then go with the S8. No doubt about it. It's just a better phone overall, and it's also a little bit more future-proof than the iPhone 8. Now, of course, one of the things that I like the most about the Galaxy S8 is that full display, basically an edge-to-edge display, more so than the iPhone X that's coming out soon. It's just a beautiful OLED display compared to the iPhone, which is pretty much the same display we've been getting for the past couple of years. It has those big bezels on the top and the bottom, which some people like. And of course, there are trade-offs for this. On the S8, you get the fingerprint sensor on the back. On the iPhone 8, you get it right there on the front bottom, which is definitely a better placement than the back one here. If this was maybe towards the middle or maybe a little bit more down, it would be better. But most of the time, it works just fine. It just doesn't work as fast, nor is it as invisible as the one on the iPhone 8. Because usually when you have the iPhone 8 in your pocket and you already know where the home button is, so by the time you get it here, it's already unlocked. That might not be the case every single time with the S8 because sometimes, for some reason, it doesn't register correctly. Like I'll be off by like this tiniest bit and it won't recognize the fingerprint. So once I'm here, it's not unlocked, so I'll have to put my finger again and it'll unlock it. So that's something to keep in mind. If you love using fingerprint sensors, then I would definitely go with the iPhone. It just has a much better fingerprint sensor. Now, as far as other unlocking options go, you do have iris scanning and also face scanning on the S8, which work fine. The only thing that I don't like about those is that you actually have to swipe on the screen to the side for it to kind of open up that dialog so that you can put your eyes or your face in that box. And I mean, it works fine. It's just that extra step makes it take longer than the fingerprint sensor, so I've never actually used it. Now, with that said about the fingerprint sensor, Apple Pay is also a better option than Samsung or Google Pay. And that's mainly just because when you go to an Apple Pay or just a terminal in general and you just put your Touch ID finger right here and hold it up, it'll go ahead through the whole transaction seamlessly with just one, tap of a button. Meanwhile, on the S8, I actually have to either set it up to swipe from the off state or from the lock screen or from different buttons, but I normally just swipe up from the lock screen. It pulls up my credit card, then I put it to the terminal and put my Touch ID or my fingerprint in the back for it to recognize it. So it's a little bit of an extra step, a tiny bit. It's not a big difference, but it's something to keep in mind. If you're going to use this a lot for your credit cards and everything, then the iPhone is definitely faster at that. Now, I do want to go over the biggest pros of the Galaxy S8, and that is that it has a headphone jack, so you can still use this with older cards that have auxiliary cables. You can use this with your headphones, your studio headphones, any headphones you want, you can use it, which is really nice, and especially the fact that this is a modern phone. It's not like you're getting something that's less than the iPhone 8. It's still just as good, and you get that extra little feature. Both of these are water resistant, so that's kind of the same. And as far as that goes, they both do have wireless charging, although I find that the S8 does a better job on the particular wireless charger that I have. It just, whenever the iPhone 8 finishes charging on the wireless charger, it'll start ringing or making that sound whenever you unplug and plug in the phone. And I'm not sure why it does that. It might be a bug, or it might be that it's not 100% compatible with the charger that I have. I'll have to see when I get the iPhone X to see if that's something that's just going on with the charger, or yeah, I'm just gonna get another charger to test that out. But something to keep in mind, obviously Samsung has had wireless charging for a long time, and you also have wireless fast charging. The iPhone 8 does have fast charging, but the cable's not included. You do get it included with the S8, but with the iPhone 8, you actually have to go out of your way and find out what cables you got to get and what power brick, and it's going to cost you some extra money if you want that feature. Alright guys, so one of the most important things in smartphones nowadays is the cameras. On the front-facing cameras on both phones, they are very similar, but the iPhone 8 is a little bit better in low light and it does get better skin tones. So overall the front camera is better. As far as the back camera goes, I actually went really back and forth between both of these, mainly because in some pictures the iPhone 8 came out on top and in other pictures the Galaxy S8 came out on top. At the end of the day, I thought to be objective with this, I'd provide you with some sample pictures here and I'll let you know in the description which one is which. That way you can decide, do you like the right side more or do you like the left side more? And based on that, you'll know which camera you like better. With that said, overall, the S8's camera is a little bit more toned down. The picture looks a little bit softer and the colors aren't as vibrant. And that usually was the opposite in the past. So usually Samsung was the one adding kind of fake color and oversaturating the images and things like that. And now it's actually turned around and the iPhone's kind of doing that. So it really depends on whether you like a simple image that has no color correction or anything like that so you can add things onto it, or an image that already is, you know, almost perfect so that you can post it straight onto social media and things like that. The thing about that is that sometimes some of the pictures just look way too colorful to the point that it looks like you purposely edited that way. And I personally am not a huge fan of that. So in some cases, that's why I'm saying I like the S8 more, and then in other cases, I like the iPhone 8 more. Now, as far as video quality goes, I do have to say the iPhone is a little bit better. In that front, you have more options, as well as the stabilization is a little bit better than the Galaxy S8, just a little bit less jitter most of the time. So I think overall, when you add everything up, the iPhone 8 does come out on top, with the Galaxy S8 in close second. So it's really a very tight competition depending on what you like here that you see on the screen. So yeah guys, let me know if you guys like the right side or the left side of the pictures, because I'm actually really interested. I personally like most of the left side's pictures, just because the colors look a little bit more toned down and not too bright, so that I could edit them if I want to. If not, it looks a little bit more natural. But let me know. Now, as far as features we're accustomed to, the speakers are both really loud. The talking on phones is really loud on both of them. You know, the speakerphone up top, those are loud. And I pretty much always experience the same amount of connection and reception and all that, so we're good with that. And also the same thing with Wi-Fi. I get pretty normal speeds on both devices, nothing that beats one over the other one. Now, the most important thing is of course choosing between Android and iOS. And like I said at the beginning of the video, if you have family members or friends with iOS, you should probably stick with an iOS device just so that you can use iMessage, Find My Friends, and all those cool apps and features that you get with iOS. If you don't have that, if they don't have that, or you don't have friends or family or whatever, go with the Galaxy S8 because it's just a better phone overall. Android, you can customize it a ton, so if you want a really clean interface, you can do that. I personally put a custom launcher on it. I think it's called Eevee. And then I also put an icon pack that makes it look very simple, and I did it just across the bottom on my dock. I also put Instagram right there in the middle. And I just think it looks very clean and it looks very nice compared to what you get with stock or with the Samsung stock skin on Android. So if this was the Pixel, I would probably keep it how it is, but I'm not a big fan of the way the Samsung icons looked and things like that, so I changed that. And you can change it to whatever you want. If you want a candy theme, if you want a Power Rangers theme, you can change all those things and kind of customize it your way, which the same is not with the iPhone. Usually, if you look at people's iPhones, they have a very bad setup. They'll have icons all over the place. They don't really organize them. And I usually organize them to make them look kind of appealing to the eye. And I still keep my icons in the order that they were a couple of years ago, where you had messages in the top left. I just think that looks the best way. But yeah, it kind of ends up to your choice and what you like to see on your phone every time you boot it up. Now, as far as battery life, I still do think the S8 is lasting me longer. It also has a better standby time. I'm not sure why the iPhone has been draining as fast as it has been, but it's definitely not lasting as long as my S8. They both last me, the S8 lasts me a day and the iPhone 8 lasts me about a day, doing the same exact things. I'm not sure why. They all have the same settings. I always keep them on max brightness or almost max brightness depending on the, you know, environment. But with the wireless charger, it is nice because you just set it on that. You don't have to plug it into a cable, so you can leave it there for a second, it'll charge, and then you're good to go. So you're charging more often than before, but you don't have to be plugging it in and unplugging it, which is really nice. Now the next thing is quality, and I do prefer the metals used on the iPhone 8 over the S8. The S8 feels like very cheap compared to the iPhone 8's metal, and also the back glass feels better on the iPhone 8, even though they are very close to each other. And I think the thing that really throws me off is just how metallic and shiny this back is compared to this, which just looks way better. And you can see them there, how they react when you kind of turn them. This one is super reflective, so if you're into that, of course you're gonna like it. If not, you can put a matte film on it, which is what I had and I was saying, and that made it look a heck of a lot better. I took it off though so that I could show this in the videos how it looks, and also because one of the edges on the protector started kind of coming off, so I'm just like, I'll just take it off. But yeah, that is the iPhone 8 and the Galaxy S8, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me on Twitter at RMRDNL or at DarkGadgets, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, subscribing, and liking, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Goodbye.